what is love? Love is our greatest commandment and our highest priority. This is love. Love is giving honor where honor is due. Love is choosing to believe the best in others. Love is catching people doing things right. This is love. Love is staying awake when you'd rather be asleep, serving when you'd rather be served, and listening when you'd rather be heard. This is love. Sometimes love is rejoicing with those who rejoice. Sometimes love is mourning with those who mourn. Love is showing up, speaking up, and standing up for others. Love is helping someone who can never pay you back, keeping a promise even when it hurts. Love is beautiful and love is powerful. This is love. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love never fails. Greater love has no one than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. This is love. Not that we loved God, but that He loved us and sent His Son as a sacrifice for us. This is love.
All right. What's going on, family? This is Pastor Brown. Ran into yet another technical glitch, but thank God for the invention of technology. We know how to pivot and we know how to adjust. Let me know how you're doing. I'm just catching up. Bear with me 1 second. I think we're good. All righty. All right. Let me know who you are, how you doing. Got a few of you here already. So glad to have you in here for our Wednesday evening time. We call it Grow With Us. And can y'all believe it's March the 6th, 2024? March the 6th, 20. I got to keep saying it because in my mind, I got a whole nother thing happening here. Let me see if I can throw a couple of y'all up here. All right, Brother Love, come on. Come on, Brother Love. Wonderful, wonderful. Ms. Smith in the house. What I want to do, y'all, is I want to talk about a few things related to our resurrection push, y'all. Easter's going to be here so fast, and I don't want us to miss this opportunity that we have. I hope y'all. Yeah, I'm looking good. Hopefully, I don't want to miss this opportunity that we have, and so you should check your emails for information related to our door hanging street team that's taking place on this Saturday. This Saturday at meet at the church at 9 a.m. and we're going to hit the streets by 9:30, and we should be finished by 10:15. I'm waving my hand to make sure my latency is right. Looks like it's good. And so all of you who signed up, you should have received a text message. Everything should be in place, and we're excited about all that the Lord is going to do in and through that move. Also, our kids need candy. Our kids need candy. A lot of this information will be shared in the email blast, but our kids need candy. And so let's take full advantage of serving and supporting our kids. Palm Sunday is going to be the kids' outdoor party, bounce house. You know how we do with the kids. So let's take full advantage of that. Start bringing those empty plastic eggs and some candy. And you already know what to do. Come on. Partner with your ministries, partner up with your Sunday small groups, and let's make sure that we bless the babies fully during this resurrection season. I got to get a little tighter. I don't. It was too loose. All right, there we go. I'm still not tight, y'all. My voice is delayed. I'm sorry. One, two, one, two. It's not too bad. All right. Well, the beautiful thing is I'm not the speaker tonight, so I'm gonna pray and I'm gonna turn it over to her. And her screen is a lot better. Let me pray. Father, we thank you for this evening. Thank you for your goodness. Thank you for your grace. Father, have your way in the midst of technical glitches. We love them and we know they're a part of the growing process. Thank you for Miss Monica that has made herself available. And Lord, I pray that all would go well this evening and the message would be very helpful. In Jesus' name, amen. Let's see if I play my hallelujah, that go well. Hallelujah. Even that's delayed. Bless your name, Lord. Strong delay tonight. It's all good. Miss Monica, I'm just going to turn it over to you. Boom. It is yours and just belong.
Hello, everyone. Glad to see you on this amazing Wednesday. Thank you for coming. And, technical difficulties happen, but we just bend and move with them. And that's kind of leading us into what we're going to talk about this evening as well. As you can see, we're going to move into staying motivated. Because as you're doing this challenge, one of the hard things for almost everything that we do throughout the day, week, and month is trying to keep our motivation, not just to move physically, to eat better, but for a lot of things that we do day in and day out, being motivated to continue to do them is the hardest part of getting things done. I mean, we have to motivate ourselves to clean. We have to motivate ourselves to cook some nights. Even though we're hungry, we still got to motivate ourselves to get up. So we're going to look at ways to help us stay motivated. Next slide, please. And as always, this is very interactive. If possible, if you guys could throw out your ideas, answer the questions, present anything that you feel will be, well, good evening, Miss Vanessa. And anything that any tips or tricks you can come up with as we're going through here, feel free to share, throw it out there in the chat so that people, myself and everyone can take those ideas and run with them, because we need to help each other stay motivated just to get through each and every day. So we're going to start with motivation. What are some of the things that stop us, are the roadblocks that we encounter to staying motivated to physically be active, to exercise, to move? What are some of the roadblocks that you've encountered yourself that makes it hard to get over that hurdle and keep moving and keep going, or going to the gym or doing your exercise activities? Anyone want to share some of their roadblocks? Work schedule, definitely work schedule. That's one of the hard ones, especially if you end up working over or working extra days that you didn't plan on, extra hours that you didn't plan on. All of those things can hinder us getting to the gym and doing those exercises that we wanted to do on whatever day. Any other roadblocks that anyone would like to share? Not enough time. Running errands for others. Definitely, most definitely. There are a lot of things, especially when we start running errands with others, the people that we care about, making sure we're helping them, getting things that they need. Injuries have kept you from being consistent. Unexpected injury, twist your ankle. I twisted my ankle once stepping off the sidewalk. I'm like, what in the world? If it's a long injury that you've had for a while that puts up that barrier for you, not preparing the night before, most definitely. You leave for work and you don't have your gym clothes, or you don't have, if you want to swim, you don't have your swimming suit because you forgot it. You're rushing that morning and you don't get a chance to grab it and throw it in the bag and throw it in the car. Next slide, please. These are some definitely roadblocks that people run into. We talked about time and not being convenient. Lack of motivation, which is the topic that we have this evening. For some people, a roadblock is they just don't enjoy going to the gym, working out. They don't like to sweat. That's fine. And we talked, and the idea of roadblock about being injured, someone had mentioned as well. Arthur, definitely Uncle Arthur showing up will throw a monkey wrench in that for sure. Oh, and the itis. Most definitely, especially if you eat a good meal before you think you're going to the gym. That is definitely two big things that will throw a big old roadblock in our plan. Next slide, please. So, what do we do? What do we do when we have these hurdles? What do we do with these roadblocks? We have to have a game plan. So, today, next slide, please. So, today we're going to discuss ways to stay motivated even when these roadblocks come up. When we don't, some of them we can plan for, but the majority of them, y'all, we cannot plan for it. They're a roadblock. They are just like any other roadblock. If you're driving down 35 and they're doing construction in the right lane and you have to like try to get over in the left lane and it's 5:15 on a Friday, you're going to be stuck there for a minute. So how do we get around that? Next slide, please. Today we're going to cover 4 of the big roadblocks that pretty much are the roadblocks for the majority of the people when they get deterred from their physical activity plan or their exercise plan. These are the ones that are most often, most common. And so we're going to have a game plan to get over them. So next slide, please. We're going to start. And someone did mention this. No time, too busy. Finding ways to fit physical activity in your schedule, daily, weekly. For some people, just having an activity once a month is a step in the right direction. Tips to make sure that we're able to do that. Making sure that your exercise or your plan to move that day is convenient to your schedule. Scheduling activities into your day. We all have a planner, our plans, we have these schedules that we have. We have to schedule it into those days. If you tend to run into roadblocks or you run out of time in your day, having it in your schedule so you have figured out this section of time is going to be where I'm moving today and sticking to it. It's easier to add movement when you know when you're going to do it. So looking at your schedule, is it easier for you to add movement in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon? Looking at that schedule, where are some chunks of time that you can section off and make them for movement itself? I like this. Thinking about being active is in the same way that you think about brushing your teeth. You don't love it, but you have to do it anyway. Very good point. Very good point. We have to add that into our day, schedule it into our day so we don't just glaze over it and think of it as something extra that we do. It is something that we do for our health, for our long-term goals, and something that we do to improve the quality of our life, not just the quantity of our days. So we have to carve out specific time for that so that we stay consistent. Next slide, please. Another tip, make an exercise plan. We're talking about scheduling our time. Plan when you're going to do the activity, plan where you're going to do the activity. Because if you're saying, I'm going to run at the park or I'm going to walk at the park, and the park's on the opposite side of where you live and from where your job is, how likely is it that you're going to go there? So planning where and making it convenient close to you en route to either going or coming from wherever your destination is always going to make it more successful for you. Definitely, someone has mentioned in here, every 10 to 15 minutes is good. You don't need to work out for hours. That is definitely true, and that is definitely a good tip. Number 3 is plan how long you're going to do the activity. As Miss Brown said, or Miss Brown, Mr. Brown, is making sure that you plan the time frame. Having a time, you can 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here. If you're doing 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the afternoon, and 10 minutes in the evening, even if it's just walking up and down the block in front of your house, you moved for 30 minutes that day, but you did it in chunks that fit in your schedule, and that counts. Plan how often you're going to do the activity. Don't just leave it up to when you feel like doing it, when you have time in your schedule to do it. pick your days and commit to those days. Am I going to do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Friday? However you want to do that, however that fits in your schedule, that's the time that you can do it. Make sure you schedule it in on those convenient days. Next slide, please. We're gonna jump into tip number 2, or hurdle number 2. Don't like to exercise. It's boring. That is so true for so many people. Exercising is the last thing they want to do. They have no desire to exercise. It's boring to them. It's like, why am I walking around, running around in a circle? I'm just going in a circle. I'm not getting anywhere. So how do we make it not so boring? For some people, taking a class, movement exercise to them is taking a class at the gym, doing aerobics, doing some hard cardio, doing yoga, doing whatever in a class. And that structured environment just is not something that they're going to look forward to. But it doesn't have to be that. It does not have to be something that is structured like that. Movement, physical movement, is anything you want it to be as long as you're moving. So making sure it's not boring, find things that you enjoy doing. What do you like to do? If you like to run, run. If you like to walk, walk. If you want to garden and you want to go outside and move around your yard and pull weeds, that counts as movement, as long as we're adding movement to our day, that we are not being stationary. So many of our jobs, we are sitting there at computers or on the phone and we're not moving. We're just sitting. So we have to give ourselves an opportunity to move, to use our joints and our muscles and keep that momentum going and exercise our bodies just to get them moving so we don't get stationary and we don't get stiff. Again, I'm going to point out finding activities you enjoy doing. If your best friend likes to run and your worst thought to do anything on this planet is to run, running with your best friend may not be the option for you. So finding something that you enjoy. If you want to go fly a kite in the park, get a kite. Go to the park, run up and down and around in circles and get that kite, keep that kite in the air. Whatever brings you joy, just make sure that you're doing something. Some people want to work out or move or go to the gym by themselves. That's their quiet time. That's what they want to do. Other people want someone to be there with them so they can chit chat, so that they have company. If you need someone or people to be around you to make it more motivating for you, make exercise social. Create a social exercise club for you and your friends, or you and even strangers. Finding people that enjoy the activities that you like doing, arranging times to do those activities with them is a positive thing. And if you need additional people there to encourage you, to motivate you, create that environment for yourself. Next slide, please. Another tip, back one, please. Another thing that causes some people not to want to do anything or be physically active is they think they have to do it in the gym and or need these special equipment. And it's expensive. Everything's expensive. So a lot of people, for most people, that extra expense of spending another extra $100 to buy gym equipment or special gloves so you can lift weights, or buying free weights and I need 5 pounds and 10 pounds and 15 pounds and the 20 pounds, and I want the whole set so I can work out and I can do all the things. It does not have to be that. It does not have to be in a gym. You do not have to have a gym membership to be physically active. Gym memberships are expensive. If you're on a budget, don't let not being able to go to a gym or not having the equipment be a reason for you not to move. You can go to the park. Many parks now specifically have walking trails, and on those walking trails, they will have random gym equipment. They have little machines that are ellipticals. They have stationary bikes. They have puller things so you can do pull-ups and lift ups, and I don't know what they're all called. I don't do those things when I go to the gym, but I know there's the bar and you pull yourself up and you hang there for a little bit and you pull yourself down. But the things are there and they're free at the park for sure. You just have to be able to get there. And you can, instead of spending a couple $100s on free weights, you can use canned foods, bottled water, just the little bottles that we carry around that most of us have in our refrigerator, in our garage, in our car. You drink the water, refill it up with tap water, and you can use those. Do a couple of those at each hand. You have weights there to start your strength training. We can adapt so many things around our house that we can utilize for free and repurpose for free that can aid in us moving, where you don't have to spend that extra money that for most people we don't have. I mean, eggs are expensive, gas is expensive. Gym memberships may not be in that budget, but don't let that stop you from doing that. Yes, someone says right here, YouTube has tons of at-home workouts as well. And that's another tip down the line is there YouTube. There are apps that are free that will have exercises, exercise classes, from 10-minute workouts to hour workouts and everything in between that are free to utilize. I'll read this real quick. It's pretty long. They're saying they found a kickboxing by accident and loved it. And activities and community, it holds you accountable. That is very, very good. Kickboxing is fun. It's hard, but it's fun. And if you haven't tried it, give it a try. Groupon is still a thing. Also, if you want to try an activity to see if you like it or you might enjoy doing it, check on Groupon to see if you can find a discount to be able to try that activity out a couple of times before you invest your hard-earned money and time into buying all the stuff around it. Try it with a discount to see if it's something you enjoy before you do all that. You can get day passes at gyms to check them out. Check out the equipment, see what works for you. See if you can find it at a community center or in the park for free. Never know, it's possible. Next slide, please. Oh, attached to the slide we just did, another free thing you can do. We all have to go to the grocery store to get food. We have to refill our pantries. So you can park farther away from the door, walking into the store instead of finding that closest parking space. When you get into the grocery stores, most of the grocery stores are huge. Walk around the outside of the grocery store, not the outside of the building, but the outside aisles of the grocery store, and do a couple of laps around the grocery store before you start shopping. You're getting in extra steps, you're getting in movement, and you're doing an errand. You're knocking out 3 things at once. Can't beat it. Number 4, this is the one. We all work hard. We do so much, and we are tired with a capital T. And you're like, the last thing you want to do is go put in more work after you work your 8 hours plus extra at the job or at the wherever you were at. You are tired. But again, we're going to go back to looking at our schedule and finding a place to incorporate movement to where it's not being a hindrance to you, but an addition and a positive addition. If you know at the end of the day that you're going to be tired, maybe waking up an extra 15 minutes earlier to be able to walk around your living room, or if it's something you're comfortable doing, walking around your neighborhood, depending on what time of day you have to get up. If the afternoon is the most convenient and you have a pretty long lunch break, instead of scrolling Facebook and Instagram, walk around your office building, walk up and down the stairs. Add that movement where you can. Find that movement where you can, so you're not adding something to the day when you're already tired, because if you're tired, you're not going to do it. That's the best excuse for not doing something, is you do not have the energy to do it. And just as an added bonus tip, the more we're moving, the more that we're physically active, it also not only benefits us mentally and improves our feelings of joy, increases our feelings of joy. It also can increase your energy level. It can provide you with more energy, which seems like an oxymoron, as they say, because you're working out, you think you would become more tired. But working out actually does increase your energy level, and because we're pumping in those good chemicals, those endorphins, so they're giving us that extra boost. So that's also a tip. If you have a hard time sleeping at night, make sure the last thing you do not do before you go to sleep is do a workout or do a whole lot of movement, because your body's going to be hyped and it's going to be much harder for you to go to sleep. So just keep that in mind in the back. Energy supplements and vitamins help me from being tired. Now, that's a good tip, but make sure if you're not taking vitamins or any of the supplements, that especially if you're having or you're taking medications, that you talk with your provider, depending on your diagnosis or the medications that you may already be taking. There may some of the vitamins and some of the supplements and some of the minerals that we are able to purchase over the counter may interfere with the medications that you're already taking. So just make sure you're having that conversation with your provider or the pharmacist to make sure that you're not going to have anything that's going to interact with each other, either make your prescribed medications not work as well or interfere with those medications altogether or cause some adverse reaction because you're taking a combination of things. Just making sure that you're providing your provider, whoever your doctor is, your MD, your nurse practitioner, your physician assistant, whoever it is, a complete list of your medications, both prescribed as well as over the counter. So they have an opportunity to make sure that the combinations that you're taking is going to be safe for you to take. I'm going to throw out a question for everybody. What is some of the times that work best for you if you're going to schedule your physical movement? Are we morning people? Are we afternoon people? Are we evening people? And added bonus, if you're answering, why are you a morning person? Why are you choosing the evening? Why are you choosing afternoon? If you could throw those in the comments and share. Lots of steps in the stores. I go down all of them twice. That is a very good suggestion. Most definitely. And you can, and also a good thing you can do if you have like a step counter, pedometer, or anything like that, you can try to beat your steps each time you go to the store. If you can set it and keep track of your steps, and if you do, say, 2,000 steps on Monday when you go, the next week, see if you can get 2010 and challenge yourself each day. Little challenges make, I don't know, for me, making new goals for me to set or beat really motivate me to try to make sure I beat those. I'm a morning person. I start my day with more energy. Definitely. For some people, morning, it looks like a lot of morning people in here. I am not, y'all are not my tribe. I struggle getting out of bed. I will sleep to the very last snooze I can hit on that alarm, because I'm definitely the I'm going after work person. I'm take my bag, it's going to be packed, and it's going to be in the car. Let's see, mornings. Y'all are some morning people. Maybe I should come hang out with you and get some morning motivation. I am impressed with all the morning people. Oh, there's my evening. Yay! Vanessa's part of my tribe. All right, you guys. Next slide, please. So, what happens if we have a setback? It's going to happen. For most of us, nothing is perfect. Nothing's going to be 100%. We have the best intentions out there, and still stuff happens. There are many reasons why we stop, why those roadblocks come in. We talked about some of them at the beginning. They include most of these that we did name: a change in our own health, an injury, your work schedule changes, you all of a sudden have to take care of someone becomes ill, and you're stepping in either long term or short term to help take care of them. errands for family members. There are a lot of things that can throw us off track. Anyone have any others that they want to add that can throw them off track, that has happened to you maybe that you weren't prepared for, that really messed up or threw a monkey wrench into the schedule that you were working with? Throw that in the chat, because an easy way for you to sort of make sure that those roadblocks are less blocky is to kind of plan for the stop. If you, especially if you've had roadblocks happen before, and if you sit down and think of what those roadblocks were and they're very similar each time, then having a contingency plan, planning for a roadblock. If you know your job has a tendency to change your schedule and you get a good routine going with however you're adding that physical activity, but in the back of your mind, my schedule could change anytime. Plan for that ahead of time. If you are going to the gym in the morning before work and your workday is going to start earlier, have a contingency plan that you can go after work. Even if, that gym that I love is going to be closed, have a backup gym already picked out just in case you need it. The little things that we can put into place just in case will help us be more prepared for those roadblocks and being able to overcome those roadblocks, because we have a plan to overcome. We have not let the block us. We're able to sort of dig our way through and adjust around and find alternative routes so that that roadblock is not a hard stop for us. Did anyone add any? Change your routine and go slow. Just do what you can. Most definitely. Changing that routine, if for whatever reason that roadblock happens, it does not mean it's a complete stop. It's a time for a change. So what can you do outside of what you've been doing? What does your alternative look like? And plan for what that alternative looks like if possible. Next slide, please. How are we going to restart? That's the big question. Because we hit that roadblock. It's been a couple of weeks. We're out of the routine. You're tired. You're hungry. All those things. All of the things are there. So what do? We are going to, as perfect what was just said, we're going to start out slow and we're going to gradually build up to where you were or where you want to be. If you were doing an hour workout before that roadblock hit, don't think you have to restart at that hour. Your restart can look any way you want it to look like. It does not have to look like what it looked like before. If all you can do when you restart is 10 minutes, that 10 minutes is amazing because you're doing it. So just keep in mind that that restart does not have to look exactly like what it looked like before. Secondly, most important, give yourself some grace. Things happen. Just roll with it. Adjust, bend, be flexible. Give yourself grace. Do not beat yourself up over that roadblock. You're stopping. You just was like, I don't want to do this. And 2 weeks later, you're like, dang, it's been 2 weeks. Just give yourself the grace to know that things happen. You have the ability to take a pause, and you have the most amazing ability is that you can restart. Tip number 3 for restarting: list the reasons why you started in the first place. Remind yourself of your why. If anyone wants to throw into the chat their why for why they're being physically active, why they exercise, these could be some great whys for other people, or give them a good place to start on figuring out what their why looks like. Some people's why may be because they have a new diagnosis and they're like, I don't want this to be my forever diagnosis. This is my why for starting, is because I want to improve my health. Someone else's why may be that they want to lose weight. Another why is they want to feel better about themselves and they want more energy, so they want to incorporate exercise into that. What are your whys? Write down what your why is, put it on a sticky note and stick them everywhere, just to give you a reminder. Stick them in your car, stick them on your mirror, wherever you're brushing your teeth in the mirror in the morning. Have a sticky note right there that gives you your reason why, so you have that reminder. And most important, remember, it is not about why you stopped, it's about why you started. And that's the most important part, is your why. Why did you start? Next slide. Final tips. Keep track of your progress. Know that you're doing something. We tend to put in all this energy to do all the things, and we still at the end of the day think we haven't accomplished anything because we don't know what our accomplishment is supposed to look like. So keeping track of your progress. Some people do that with a workout journal. Some people do that with an exercise journal, writing their movements out, keeping track of their steps. Some people like stars. Stars are not just for kindergartners, y'all. If you like stars, get a calendar, get a gold star, stick it on the days you work out. Make it a challenge. How many gold stars can I get in a week? How many can I get in a month? Whatever that looks like to you. But making sure you're tracking your progress so that you can know that you're doing what you set out to do and you're not just doing stuff to fill time. And second, whatever works for you is what works for you. And that is perfect. It does not have to work for someone else. They may look at you when you tell your best friend, this is what I'm doing, and I'm putting stars on the calendar. You keep track of it. And they may look at you, give you a little side eye. That's okay, because your motivation is going to look different than someone else's motivation. So whatever your motivation is, just make sure that's what you're doing and keep that in mind so that you can continue to do what you need to do to make sure you're moving. And whatever that looks like for you is perfection. Next slide. There you go. Your accomplishment is in maintaining good weight, flexibility, balance, just to name a few, for sure. My why is flexibility. Honestly, that is my why for movement, for going to the gym, for walking in the park. I love being outside. I love hearing the birds and I enjoy it. But also, it is so that I am flexible, because being stiff, getting up out of a chair and my knees sound like snap, crackling, and popping, that was a bit much. So let me figure out a way so I can get moving so that I have less snap, crackle, and popping and more smoothness. Use those muscles or you lose those muscles. So that's my why, is the flexibility part of it. Any questions before we head up out of here? I don't see any yet. So again, if there's any questions, if there's any other people who want to show their whys, throw them into the chat so others can see them. That would be amazing. Sharing is caring. Thank you guys so much.
Well. I'm back. I'm still a little delayed. Miss Monica will be at Greater Life on this Sunday, live and in person. After our morning worship, she's going to spend a little time in session with us. We're going to have a time of fellowship, Q&A. If all of us who are participating in this wonderful Healthy Church Challenge, we want to see you there. Also, I got to make one quick sort of tidy up announcement. We want to make sure that we're keeping that hall secure where our children gather every week, week in and week out. Please abide by the security and the children's workers. And if your child ain't down the street, down the hall, you don't need to be going up and down that hall. So we're having a little challenge with security, and y'all, we're hyper vigilant just because of what's happening in the world. I know y'all understand that, but I wanted to give that public plea with all of you all. So, Ms. Monica, thank you again. We'll see you live and in person on this Sunday. Greater, we'll see you Saturday for the street team as we pass out door hangers. Y'all, listen, keep the fight. Keep the fight. If you slip, if you fall, get back up. Give yourself some grace. Let's keep getting healthy. God bless you all. Good night. See you, Monica.